Now moving on to the hard aspect combinations of Jupiter and Saturn. While this combination may seem pretty antagonistic, since Saturn is the greater malefic and Jupiter is the greater benefic, it usually tends to work out very well. And the reason for that is because these two planets balance each other out in extraordinary ways. As we know, Saturn oftentimes represents a crippling adherence to the rules, whereas Jupiter oftentimes represents a sense of reckless abandon and just doing what we feel like. Therefore, when we have Jupiter and Saturn in hard aspect combination, it oftentimes brings out the best of these two planets, which gives us a very mature and patient and sincere approach to life. When a person has the hard aspect combination of Jupiter and Saturn within their charts, they tend to be well-rounded, balanced individuals. Because Jupiter and Saturn in hard aspect, it gives a person a sense of depth and also a sense of perspective. When people have the hard aspect of Jupiter and Saturn, it gives them the knowledge that the journey isn't for the fast, but rather it's for those who persevere. Because this combination is the combination of patience, perseverance, and being willing to wait until the right circumstances arise for one to seize the day. When we have the hard aspect of Jupiter and Saturn within our charts, it gives us the ability to work long and hard at something in the dark when nobody else is around, and it gives us the perseverance of knowing that that thing is going to be something of great benefit to others around us. I love the combination of Jupiter and Saturn because it gives us the patience necessary to become masters of whatever we care about. When we have this combination, we have the ability to stick to the course of being disciplined in pursuit of the thing that we desire to manifest within our lives, regardless of what the surrounding circumstances are. The person with Jupiter and Saturn is the person who has the ability to get up and do their work each and every day, regardless of whether they're getting paid for that work, regardless of whether they experience joy from that work, regardless of if they're upset with the work. The person with Jupiter and Saturn has the ability to get up and hone their craft like an artisan, because they realize that even if the specific thing that they're doing right now isn't going to yield success, they're still going to feel a sense of accomplishment because they would have gotten up and done their practice for the day. So we all can learn from people within our lives who have Jupiter and Saturn in hard aspect, because this hard aspect combination creates a sense of stability and durability, and it also gives a person the ability to stand and withstand the tests of time, because these people tend to have a sense of longevity about them that makes them very wonderful to behold when they're in the process of fulfilling their destiny. One of the things that's challenging about Jupiter and Saturn in hard aspect is that sometimes they can be so committed to staying the course with something that they don't really realize when that course has ended. And while their perseverance tends to be a wonderful thing in general, the inability to realize when it's time to let go of a particular action that one has been investing in is something that can manifest as a rather large challenge within their lives. Sometimes people who have Jupiter in hard aspect with Saturn can tend towards being people who may see the evidence of failure in terms of what they're doing. They may see that what they're doing doesn't have any possibility of success whatsoever, but yet they still continue to do it because there's something within them that feels as if they need to stay committed to the thing that they've begun. And as a result of that unwavering level of commitment within themselves, sometimes they can go down with the ship while it's sinking because they feel as if there's something noble about staying the course, even when the only possible outcome is failure. Sometimes a Jupiter-Saturn person is so committed to the moral of the story that they don't even realize that they don't necessarily need to participate in the full story to its full completion in order for them to learn the lesson that needs to be learned. So one of the things that the Jupiter-Saturn person needs to learn within this lifetime is the art of letting go, and the art of realizing that it's completely okay to let go of something even if that thing used to matter to you. It's completely okay to let go of something even if that thing used to be the container of your beliefs and your faith in what is good about life. It's okay to let something go even if you've committed your entire life to that particular pursuit. It's okay to step away from that thing. And if you're a Jupiter-Saturn person, then one of the things that you can work on is giving yourself more leniency and giving yourself more grace in terms of realizing that you are the author of anything that you're creating within this lifetime. Those things aren't the authors of you. And as a result of that, your creations may come into being and they may pass away, but you as the creator of those things will exist far longer than the things that you're creating. And as a result of that, you as the creator have the ability to say, I cherish what this thing has taught me, but I have the perspective to see that this thing has long outlived its welcome within my life. And therefore I can let this go gracefully because I know that the fullness of who I am isn't embodied within this singular thing. And the more you can tap into that, the more freedom you'll discover for yourself as a person who does create things within this lifetime, because you'll realize that the fullness of your creative potential isn't expressed in simply one thing that's come out of you. You'll realize that you are actually a wellspring of infinite creative possibility. Now, the most positive thing about the Jupiter-Saturn combination is that this combination gives us the ability to have perspective. And with that perspective, it does give us the ability to tap into the moral of the story when we find ourselves faced with difficulties within our lives. And that might be one of the best things about Jupiter-Saturn, because whereas other people around us might only see the challenging ways how things manifest, and whereas others may only find sorrow and pain arising out of their failures within this lifetime, when we have Jupiter and Saturn in hard aspect combination, it gives us the ability to have perspective about that experience that we've gone through, and it also gives us the ability to find the core lesson and to find the core meaning that's present within that experience. Saturn is the god of karma, but Saturn is also the god of lessons, and Jupiter is the god of philosophy. Therefore, when we bring these two deities together, they foundationally have the ability to teach us how to find wisdom within everything that we go through within this lifetime. And when we take on that spirit of being able to find wisdom, even within some of the most harrowing of life's experiences, it gives us the ability to accept all that life throws our way, the good, the bad, and the indifferent. Jupiter and Saturn in hard aspect combination can be one of the greatest antidotes for the challenges that we face within our lives, because of this ability of Jupiter and Saturn to give us perspective regarding our challenging circumstances. And when we have these two planets in hard aspect, it shows us that in our joys and in our sorrows, we will always have the ability to learn from whatever we're experiencing. And when we can fully take in this spirit of constant learning and constant growth, it gives us the ability to forge forward with our lives in a state of stability and ease, because we realize that everything that we experience in life feeds that part of us that desires to learn and that desires to grow. Hey everyone, it's Michael from the Oraculos School of Astrology. I'm inviting you to join our Oraculos Subscribers Drive, a community movement to help this channel reach 15,000 subscribers by December 10th. Here's how it works. Invite your friends and family to subscribe to the Oraculos podcast, then email me at hello@oraculosastrology.com with your name and a list of who joined because of you. The top 3 supporters will receive incredible prizes, including, in first place, a private reading with yours truly, a full scholarship for the first semester of our Professional Astrologers Diploma program, and 1 year in our private membership-based community, Mychal's Cosmic Conservatory. Second place will receive a private reading with yours truly, 50% off our first semester of the Professional Astrologer's Diploma Program and 6 months membership in our private Cosmic Conservatory. And the third place recipient will receive a private reading with yours truly, 25% off of our first semester, and 2 months fully paid membership in our Cosmic Conservatory. The drive is going to run from November 10th through December 10th. So, if you love what we do here at the Oraculos School of Astrology, then help us share the channel and help us reach 15,000 souls so that we can spread the light and love that we have for astrology together.